Hi, I'm Jordan Grosky.
I'm Taryn Testa,
And I'm Kevin Shuley.
and our topic is overpopulation. Overpopulation is when the number of existing human population exceeds the carrying capacity of the Earth. Many scientists think Earth has a maximum carrying capacity of 9 to 10 billion people. This is due to the limited availability of fresh water and constraints on the amount of food Earth can produce. It's predicted that the population will reach 9 billion by 2050 and 10 billion by 2100. Looking at some population theory, Thomas Malthus was a biologist and a political economist. He wrote an essay on the principle of population. In this essay, he described a forthcoming population catastrophe. Whenever he wrote this essay, the population was at 9 million people. Today, the world population is over 7 billion people. Some of the core principles Malthus believed was food is essential for life, and the population will continue to increase faster than food supply. He believed that once the population would grow until it reached the limit of food supply, that there would be widespread poverty and famine. If the population was not controlled, the population would grow geometrically, whereas food supply will increase arithmetically, as the amount of land is finite. And therefore, Malthus said that there would be a Malthusian catastrophe. This is the point where population reaches its limit of food supply. This will cause war, famine, disease, and death. Once population reached this point, checks would have to come into play to readdress the balance between the population and resources. Some of the positive checks Malthus describes are the increased levels of misery, including war, famine, disease, and death, and also preventative checks, including celibacy and later marriage. Evidence to support Malthus's theory, there's been a population explosion. When our parents were born, there were 3 billion people on the earth. Fast forward to today, there are over 7 billion people. The Food and Agricultural Organization says there's more than 800 million people that are chronically malnourished. And in 2050, there will be 4.2 billion people that will live in areas that cannot provide enough water for basic needs.
If you take a look at this world population development graph, you can tell that developing countries have a higher population than the industrialized countries. Background about overpopulation. Human population has been growing since the end of the Black Death around the year 1400. The biggest increase has been in the past 50 years, and that's due to technology advancements and medical advancements. Every 3 years, 250 million people are added to the population, and by 2050, the number could rise above 9 billion. Developing nations face the problem of overpopulation more than developed nations.
These stats here just show that underdeveloped nations such as Asia are the problem for overpopulation as opposed to North America.
Causes in overpopulation. First is a decline in death rate. A lot of people have not been dying as quick as they should be. So the population has been increasing by millions, I would say. And that's due to better medical facilities, advancements in fertility treatment. So another cause of overpopulation is immigration. More people have immigrated to the United States from a lot of places, Mexico. Lack of family planning. A lot of people don't family plan before they have a baby. A lot of people have babies when they don't even know they're going to have a baby. And advancements in technology. Technology has really brought a lot to the medical field, which can help people live longer from diseases, cancer, and whatnot. So that's causing people to live long.
Some of the effects would be the depletion of natural resources and even things such as loss of fresh water and increased habitat loss. And this is happening more in the developing nations, so nations where things like conflicts and wars could occur more often, and more people would be leaving those countries and coming to North America where it's better for them and they'll be living longer.
So some solutions to overpopulation. The first is better education. Educating the people helps them understand that they need to have 1 or 2 children at most. Families that are facing a hard life that choose to have more than 2 children can even have more problems. Family planning and efficient birth control can help women making their own reproductive choices. So that's another thing we can educate women and families about. The next thing is making people aware of family planning. As population is increasing, raising awareness among people regarding family planning and letting them know about the serious after effects of overpopulation can help them curb the population growth. The next thing is tax benefits. Government of various countries might have to come with various policies related to tax exemptions to curb overpopulation. This would this would encourage people to not have as many children because they already have more money. So the next is availability of contraceptives. We need to provide the availability to contraceptives to more people so they can have those and not have babies. So yeah.
A few facts and evidence of overpopulation. In a 12-year span from 1999 to 2011, the population increased by 1 billion people. And in 1985, the world's demand for resources actually exceeded the world's supply. And it's thought that by 2025, almost 48% of the Earth's population will be living in water stress or scarcity. And those are just some things showing that the world is increasing more and more each year, and that it's going to be, that at one point it's going to be a serious problem. And these are just some pictures, used as kind of jokes to show what the problem that world population is, but kind of to make people aware of the issue that overpopulation is and that we have to deal with it somehow.
And kind of rap about our whole presentation. Are we still presenting? Yeah. Yeah, the people need to be aware about the problems of this because overpopulation can cause more problems than we have now in this world. A lot of people don't really take it into consideration, so the government should implement something that can help them.
And that's our presentation.
Thank you.